What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show. I appreciate you guys so much for taking time out of your day to tune in to me and listen to me ramble. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, as always. But let's always kick off to see what our friends at MSNBC and, oh yeah, don't forget CNN are talking about. Let's start off with MSNBC. They're still talking about January 6th. Because this is the pressing issue of today. Not Hurricane Ida's devastation, what it's going to do to potential gas prices, but also, you know, human lives and stuff like that. Not talking about the border crisis continuing. We've all of a sudden forgot about that. They're not talking about Afghanistan and the debacle that is. I mean, even this one of their top stories, here's what the media got completely wrong on Afghanistan, according to an expert. That's right. That's what we do in our media today. We look for one expert that will get our confirmation bias on and lead us down whatever path we already want to go down. Because that's what the media is all about these days anyways, and they're still talking about January 6th. The fact that they're still talking about January 6th is unbelievable to me. It's literally the craziest thing in the whole world to me. It's the definition of Trump derangement syndrome, and the fact that they're pushing it kind of tells you how fearful they are about the election coming up and stuff like that. They're so worried about their freaking poll numbers that they're pushing and they're saying, hey, remember January 6th? Remember how insane that was? Do you want? I know Biden is really effing up right now. He's not doing a good job. I don't know what to say. I don't know what else to say. But you need to remember January 6th. So I know he's not doing a good job, but you don't want these kind of people in power. These sickos. They're insane. Everything's crazy they do. It's unbelievable. But then we have leaked information coming out, which is always exciting. Afghan president actually knew about the Taliban taking over, and they wanted to pretend like it wasn't a big deal and wanted to push it under the rug. Because, you know, we're politicians. We don't actually care about people. We just want the perception to be that we're in control. Everything's fine. And more people are freaking out about this leaked conversation. But, I mean, seriously, are you surprised at all? Watching how it all unfolded, you think that the intelligence community and Joe Biden were they were not only were they concerned, but they were devastated and surprised by how fast the Afghanistan army just surrendered. It just came out of nowhere. We don't know why. We don't know how. It just kind of happened. Yeah, right. Yeah, freaking right. I'm so tired of people. I know I don't give the government the benefit of the doubt anymore. I just don't. I mean, especially right now as the Taliban's army, their air force versus NATO, is one of the top in the world. Congratulations, Taliban. We gave you $85 billion worth of weapons to use. $85 billion. I mean, Biden had the audacity yesterday to talk about some of how much it costs per day to be in war, but, you know, we'll give $85 billion away. No problem. Taliban have a bigger air force than Slovenia, Macedonia, Albania, Bosnia, Lithuania, Montenegro, Estonia, Latvia, Iceland, Luxembourg have zero. Shout out to Iceland and Luxembourg. They're like, you know what? We don't need an air force. It's not like we're Iceland. We're in the middle of nowhere and just surrounded by ocean. Why would we need an air force? God, this is just so silly. But you know, we just give away whatever. Look at this guy, this little Taliban guy. He's like, look at me. I'm gonna fly. Mom always said I would never amount to nothing, and here I am flying an American aircraft. Apparently a lot of it is not working that well, of course. And there's reports back and forth of the animals we left behind, too, that are just roaming the base. You know, because we're all about our intelligence community. They're so intelligent, and nothing's on purpose anymore. You know, we left these incredible Air Force capabilities to the Taliban. It's not like the Taliban are probably going to, you know, sell them to Iran, you know, their best buddies. Why would they sell them? Why would they sell them to Iran? It's not like Iran could, you know, help them out in any way. But, you know, this is how it is. We have a leaked conversation, and I am not hearing why. You know, because you always have to ask yourself, why? Why a leaked conversation now? I think people just sometimes take the media, the benefit of the doubt, and also just stories like this, like, you know, oh my God, Biden is really screwed up. I can't believe this bombshell. But ask yourself, why would a report like this come out? Is it because this whole debacle has made the intelligence community look like a freaking sham? Because my answer to that is yes. So who would leak this out to the press? I can't think of anyone. Oh, maybe the intelligence community put this out on purpose to say, hey, I just want you to know we knew about everything going on, but Biden decided to do it anyways. It's on Biden, not on us. As they do the blame game, as Biden yesterday referenced Trump in his speech. Of course, because everything bad in the world is because of Trump. I'm so tired of politicians. When is a politician going to have some balls and say, hey, this is on me, even if it's not on you? Just be a leader. I swear, leadership 101. If anything negative goes on and you're in command, it's your fault, whether it was your decision or not. That's why being a leader is so difficult. That's why being a leader is so hard. Because the buck, as Joe Biden says, the buck stops with you. You're the leader. You're the president. But of course, the intelligence community put this out. Of course, they leaked it to the press. Why else would they do it? They've been made to look bad this last few weeks. In fact, I've read communication between the intelligence community and Joe Biden have been going back and forth, and they haven't agreed on a lot of stuff. And Joe Biden said, just do it anyways. This whole Afghanistan thing, I feel like more information is coming out. But, you know, as always, typical politicians. Dan Crenshaw, whether you like him or love him, I know there's a lot of Republicans that are just anti-Crenshaw. I just don't care. I know we're so quick. People are so quick to just write off, like, people if they do one thing wrong nowadays. It's not like, you know, we just like, Get rid of you. There's nothing good you can bring to the table anymore. It's like Larry Elder. I know so many conservatives are just like, oh, great. You're confirming the election results for Trump? I don't want to talk to you anymore. It's like, really? You don't think Larry Elder wouldn't help make California better? You know, California is an American state. Anyways, I have a lot of Republican friends that live in California, and they would love to see Larry Elder win for their own sake and safety. But then Crenshaw slams Pelosi. Can we get rid of the word slams? I'm so tired of reading the word slams in the press. Hey, this person slammed this person. Okay. Dan Crenshaw slams Pelosi for shutting down Afghanistan bill. They want no accountability whatsoever. Of course they don't want accountability for this total big F-up. Why would they want accountability? They're not leaders. That's why. That's why they always say, it's not my fault, it's your fault. Everything. It's not my fault, it's your fault. Somebody did something wrong. That's the only reason it went wrong. Not because of what I said. I'm a genius. Whatever I say is perfect, and whatever they say is wrong if it's wrong. But if it's right, I'll take credit for it. Politics. Dan Crenshaw slams Pelosi for shutting down Afghanistan bill. So the Republicans are putting out a bill for accountability for what happened. Get down to the bomb, you know, like a January 6th committee sort of thing, but for Afghanistan. And they shut it down. Of course they did. Why would they allow this I like that the Republicans are pushing this, but of course they're not going to press for this. It makes them look bad. It makes the government look bad. And they're more focused on January 6th, which makes you look bad. They're more focused on showing how powerful they are. This is the kind of stuff that makes the government look weak, and we can't make them look weak. I mean, we're trying to embody the Chinese government in a lot of ways where, the government has all the power, and they can just tell you what to do. They can tell you how to live, and that is more important than a bill that would potentially hold people accountable, like in leadership, of the actions they've taken. Because why would a politician want that? Because politicians, they care about you. That's why, during the funeral for the soldiers that died, Joe Biden's checking his watch. Apparently, mothers came up to him, and screamed at him, and he started talking about his own son. That's why he brings up his own son every single time, because why? Because he's so empathetic. Empathy is putting yourself in someone else's shoes and being there for someone. Empathy is not hearing someone's devastating news and saying, I know what that's like because of this. That puts the spotlight on you. Empathy is just keeping the spotlight on someone that's hurting. So anytime he brings up Bo, because he thinks he's, I don't know, trying to lower the blow of the fault that he created, because I don't know. That's him not being empathetic. I know there's a lot of liberals that think that that's what empathy looks like, but it's not. I can promise you it's not. Empathy is, if he would have came out yesterday and not talked about his son Bo, but just said, I just want to thank the 13 soldiers that gave their lives and put their lives on the line for this country and the mission of this country. I'm so thankful for your lives and what you've done. And I'm devastated for the families that will have to live through this. I don't even know what to say anymore regarding this situation. But I want you to know I'm here for you in any way you need me to be here for you. That's what empathy sounds like. Empathy is not, I know what that's like. My son Bo also died, so God, jeez. I don't know. But, I wake up, I'm watching Fox News, I'm watching, CNN, I'm watching MSNBC. As always, I watch all the networks. I do not jump on one. And what are they talking about a lot? Typical media. I'm so tired of them not having hard conversations. You get paid more than I ever make, and you can't even have a hard conversation. This is what they're talking about. They're talking about Biden's poll numbers right now, because of all the crises on Biden's hand. You don't care about people. If you're talking about poll numbers, you don't care about the crisis. You don't care about the people involved. Who gives a crap about poll numbers? Poll numbers should just be assumed and known throughout the crises. Just like Biden's approval rating drops to 47%, and 61% of American voters say they either somewhat strongly disapprove of Biden's withdrawal. Who gives a crap? I get so tired of the media jumping on people's emotions, and then at the same time, there'll be a news segment where they'll have these gold star mothers whose sons have died, daughters have died, and then right afterwards they'll talk about poll numbers. I'm just like, this makes no sense. This is insane. This is why I honestly do not trust the media whatsoever. That's why you always got to ask. You always got to ask. When people are freaking out, when there is emotion, when there is you hear word crisis, and they're sparking fear. There's a lot of fear in stories. There's freakouts, and it seems like on the same. You got to ask why they're talking about it. Let's also see what CNN's talking about COVID-19. But CNN credits them, or not credit, was really concerned about Afghanistan because they like war. They want, their viewers are going down so much so that they're like, maybe this whole Taliban thing can spark off, but apparently it's not. COVID-19 is getting worse for children, according to CNN. They're just talking about cases. I don't know if anyone knows this, but a virus spreads away. There's going to be cases. This whole case thing. Are people dying? Are people in hospitals? Are people in hospitals for a long time? Are they getting well? I'm so tired of reading about COVID-19 and not hearing anything about therapeutics, what we're doing to help people and what's being revolutionary and what's changing people's lives. We're only talking about the freaking vaccine as if that's the only cure out there. Is that it? Is that it, medical community? Is that all you have is just the vaccine? That's literally all you have? But I know it's not, because I have, again, family members that work in ICU and work with COVID patients. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Derek O'Shea Show. I have some more information coming out a little later. Listen, this whole Afghanistan thing has been the biggest F-up. And these leaked tapes of Biden, always ask yourself, why is this coming out? Don't just jump on the bandwagon. Like, I was watching, I saw Charlie Kirk tweet about, it's bad when CNN is talking bad about Joe Biden. Ask yourself why they're doing it. Don't just jump on the easy layup bandwagon, because it's too easy. It's too obvious. Why are they making him look bad? Why do they care so much? There's a reason independent journalists are growing like crazy, is because people trust them more. So stop trusting the media when they are starting to freak out about some issue or something. Ask yourself why they care that much. As if they don't have some kind of corporate interest, or like they're worried about the media is always worried about their own poll numbers. So they want to make sure what the stories they're putting out grabs your attention. Unlike me, I could care less. I do the show for myself mainly, and for you. I hope you guys enjoy this. I mean, I hope you do. I really hope you do, because I put a lot of time in this, and I read up a lot of this, and I try to do this thing well, and not just have another podcast out there, not another political comment. It was like, who needs another political commentator to listen to? I hope I provide something different. I always want to ask. I don't want to just take stories. I take stories as a grain of salt, and I want to know why they're even producing these stories, why they care so much about making this person look bad. And I think you should ask those questions too, because if anything has told us over the last year, especially with the George Floyd protests, and they called them protests when they were clearly riots, always ask yourself why they're using the words they're using, and why they're pushing the stories they're pushing, instead of just being like, oh, this is the news. Always ask yourself why. Even me, could I be pushing something that I just want your attention? Just kidding. I don't care. Have a fantastic day. As always, I'll see you on the next episode of the Derek O'Shea Show. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.